In this unit, we are going to do a unit circle project, and some of the questions that come up in the notes, like 2A, make more sense to do after we're done that project. So we're going to skip 2A right now and just do 2B. Okay? So question 2B, determine the approximate values of the 6 trig ratios for 586. So this is going to be a calculator question because it says to the nearest thousandth. The question is, can you get, well, that one, I hope you can type into your calculator. This one, you've done that before. That should be no problem. But the reciprocals, so the reciprocal of, can you get these ones on your calculator as well? So take out your calculators. Type them into your calculator, and we want to see if we can get, we just want 2B, so I will get rid of the answers for 2A. Can you get those answers on your calculator? I know they're a little small, so I will zoom into the answers. Right? There we go, that's bigger. So first of all, the straightforward ones, cos of 586, you should be able to get that answer right away. If you type in cos of 586 and you get something really different, that's probably because the mode of your calculator is not in degrees. It might be in radians, or in some odd cases might even be in gradians. So one of the things we want to make sure right now is that our calculator's in degrees. But then I want to see, can you get those other values? All right, check how you did. Now for sine, cos, and tan, I'm going to hit my mode button just to make sure that I'm in degrees. I know it says degrees up here as well, so I'm in degrees. And then if I want to find sine of 586 degrees, I can just write sine of 586 and I get the answer. Now to find cosecant, the definition of cosecant is that cosecant is 1 divided by sine. Now a couple things, if you have a graphing calculator and you have a newer version, then if you push alpha y equals, this screen comes up. So for some of you, this screen comes up. For some, it doesn't. If it doesn't, that means you don't have the newest operating system. If you push enter on n divided by d, numerator divided by denominator, it actually writes a fraction thing, which can be really, really helpful later on. So I can write 1 over sine of 586, and this will give me the exact value of cosecant. So notice that cosecant listed here is negative 1.390. We've got that same answer there. If you just use the divide sign in this case, 1 divided by sine of 586, it works the same way. But the fraction button is nicer, especially in some cases where you have more than one calculation to do. You can have it show up exactly like your textbook has, and you won't have to worry about notation errors or typing things wrong into your calculator. The definitions? No. You have to know the definition of secant is 1 over cos, cotangent is 1 over tan. On your formula sheet, you do get sine squared plus cos squared equals 1. So if you want to figure out the other ones, like cotangent will be 1 divided by tan, and you get your value of cotangent. So notice, if sine is negative, cosecant is negative. When cos is positive, secant is positive. So the reciprocals, they share the same rules. I mean, we can make up a new, right? Because your cast rule is with cosine and tan, right? So the reciprocal of cos and then reciprocal of tangent's cotangent, they're still all positive there. Oh, no, I don't think it makes a good acronym. SAC. But then there's two C's, and you wouldn't know which one is which, so we don't ever use the reciprocal ones, right? Same thing. You know that sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse, right? And cos of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tan of theta is opposite over adjacent. With that, we know that cosecant of theta is hypotenuse over opposite. It's a reciprocal. That secant of theta is hypotenuse over adjacent. And cotangent of theta is, instead of opposite over adjacent, adjacent over opposite. So you've been learning SOHCAHTOA all these times, but you could really learn CHOCHAKAO if you want to. CHOCHAKAO. It would work as well. Might be a little bit harder to remember. Probably SOHCAHTOA is stuck with you, but if you wanted to use CHOCHAKAO, you could. All right, question after this one is just 7b.